All right. Yeah. So basically, this is ready to love session right here. Chop it up. Chop it up
Yes.
TV 24/7. All right. I'm here with the beautiful CHARLSEA, all the way from North Carolina. She's holding it
Yes.
down from Cary, North Carolina.
I
You want to say hi
am.
to the peeps?
Hello, everyone.
All right,
Hello.
all right, all right. Okay, I'm Rod, aka Hot Rod. Okay, I'm a fan of Ready to Love. Let me just put it out there right now. I'm a huge fan of Ready to Love. I've been a fan of Ready to Love since 2019, right? And I
Mhm.
actually put Chelsea on to Ready to Love what, a year ago or so,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
less. What was it? Like,
about a year ago, and I've been
yeah,
hooked
I
ever
put you
since.
on, and you
Yeah.
actually know more about Ready to Love than you
Yeah.
probably know what episode we are, what season, and all that stuff. What episode are we on right now, Chelsea?
We're on episode 10. Yeah,
Oh, you see,
episode
I didn't
10
even know we're on 10 already.
already. Yeah.
Damn. All right. Okay. So, what we gonna start off this session with?
Let's talk about Cornelius.
Okay.
All right. So in this episode, you saw that basically they were at their like it's like a little retreat where they were supposed to kind of get to know each other and make some decisions on what you really wanted to do. So at the
Mhm.
dinner table, you saw that Camille and Aisha kind of got into a little disagreement
Right.
about, you know, basically if he possible were eliminated, and it just kind of spiraled out of control.
Mm.
Well, the end result of that was Cornelius did get eliminated, and Camille made an executive decision that they was leaving together. And so, um, it seemed as if he was kind of a little taken back by it, but he just went on with it with no problem like that. But to me, that's been the whole his entire demeanor the entire time. Camille could just run him, and
Mm.
there's really no pushback. He didn't really try to get to know anybody else, and she's just like, "Yeah, we're gonna be together." And he to me, he wouldn't speak up and say, "Hey, I kind of want to see." Where this could go, and also keep my options open. But to me, he was very timid, and I think she's gonna run slam over him.
Oh man, I mean, it's not gonna. She's already running the
Yeah,
dude. I mean,
yeah, like they
what's
really they packed their
what?
stuff up and left together like they were, yeah, a couple. But and to me, he's
Listen,
still, yeah,
listen. She already filled him up, and she knows she got him like this, and so it's a wrap.
yeah.
I think that's why she didn't really connect with any other dude, because she knew she got the perfect dude. So she's like, I already got this dude. I don't need anyone else, because I don't know if I can control any other dude like I'm controlling this
She
sucker.
locked in on episode 1, like literally locked in, gave no one else a chance. Like, yeah, yeah. And to me, she was a bit immature as well, but whatever.
Hmm.
Cornelius Britt, I mean, that's what he chose. Even though, like, even before when Zadia had said, you kind of close everyone else off, and he seemed like he wanted to say, "Hey, I'm interested in you too," but I think the dude was just scared, and he wouldn't give anybody a chance for fear of Camille, you know, getting upset or whatever. Like, she seemed very irrational to me.
Hmm.
So
I mean,
yeah.
she's more than irrational. Come on. I mean, at that dinner table right there, she was telling him, "Come sit across." And when she
Like
did
she was
that,
talking to her son.
and he got up and did that, I was like, "Oh man, I felt so embarrassed for this dude." I'm like, "Damn, have you dated a guy like that?"
No, no,
No.
I don't tend to get those kind.
I mean, you wouldn't
Yeah,
say that when because you're alive. You're alive, and that's why you don't want to say that, huh? Trying to be the
I don't
nice,
tend to attract
nice,
those kind.
nice,
No,
nicey, nicey. Okay, I see that.
I gotta tell you, if you're gonna listen to everything I say, I mean, you're like my son. So what's the problem? So yeah.
All right, what we got next?
Uh, let's go with Zadia and Dante.
Hmm.
So, piggyback into the conversation before when they got into it,
Mhm.
if you notice that Dante was more so defending Aisha, and I keep calling her Aisha. I hope I'm saying it correctly. And he kind of alienated Zadia
Mhm.
and just basically let her know you were being a bully. I think she was a bit of a jerk. Yeah, she was, but
Who?
he
Zadia?
knew. I think she was. I do. I think she was kind of poking at her, and then it was just uncalled for. So yeah, he kind of had a point, but I think he had already made up his mind. He was looking at the other one anyway.
Right.
So he confronts her after the event, and it spiraled out of control. I would say how it planned out because she got upset. And basically, he was like, I'm going this way. I'm going to go this option. And she left out, but came back into the building.
Mhm.
And yeah, what's your take on that? What do you think about how she came at him? Let's go
Uh,
with your thoughts.
I just feel like emotions were high,
Mhm.
right there, and I think women are very competitive. That's something, they're territorial, they're competitive, especially knowing that it's another female in the mix, and that female she doesn't like, right? And what's the
Mhm.
name of the girl that she's competing with? Aisha?
Um, Aisha.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. She does not like Aisha already. There's a tension there. And they're competing for the same dude. So that's the reason that's really what prompted her to come back. And she's like, wait a minute. You can't do me like this. Wait a minute. I'm not done yet. So she wanted to have the last say. She wanted to get back at him because of that. And I understand where she's coming from. I'm gonna play devil's advocate because I think Dante already, like you said, he already made up his mind, obviously,
He
right?
did.
You
He did.
you saw how after that confrontation between Aisha and Zadia, what did he do? You remember?
He did go. Well, he was more so softer towards Aisha.
There you
He
go.
was, but I think that they had already the foundation was already starting to be laid, and it worked out perfectly for him.
Nah,
So
he listen. The dude, he already seen all that booty, leashes. Aisha gave him all that game. In the kitchen, she's like wearing all that see-through stuff that she got on, and he saw that. Guys, we are visual animals. You gotta get that. You understand? Aisha knows how to play the game. She give him that eye candy. She's like, I gotta get ahead of this chick, Zadia, and that's exactly what she's doing. And what boy?
But on the flip side, I think
Uh-huh.
that Zaria was expecting him to kind of respect where they are. One, she was one of the women that he allowed to meet his ex. Right? He didn't. It wasn't Aisha, so she was thinking they were probably in a different space. So she
Right.
wasn't expecting that, and so I feel like for her, she feels like Aisha came out of left field. And as a woman, I can kind of see that, like, well, where did this happen? How did y'all get to this point? So, I mean,
Right.
yeah,
Well,
you
and
know,
that's what she was
yeah,
mad. She's like, dude, we came to the retreat and you acting funny. You're not giving me time. You giving all your time to Aisha. And then with the dispute, he was gentle with Aisha in the kitchen, trying to talk to her. And then when he was talking to her, talking about, oh, you were poking the bear, you were there. Yes, you might have been wrong, but his approach was a lot different compared to Aisha. That's all I'm saying. You know.
now, but let me say this: what if he had already seen certain behaviors in Zadia that he was like, well, this is not the first time I've seen that, and this is a straight up turn off.
That's a
He let him
possibility.
feel like, hey, listen, this is it for me. I'm not getting this from Aisha. She seems real easy breezy. Our communication flows very well. I'm gonna run with this one. I hear what you're saying as far as the booty and all.
Right.
I really think it's also a combination
Yeah,
of
yeah, I
yeah,
agree. She's a little, she's a little out there. She's a little, overbearing. I would say, she can be, she's a little intense. I get that, but at the same time, let's be real. If Aisha was not in the mix, he would have stuck it out with Zadia. We can keep it moving to the next one. I'm a guy. I know what I'm
I
talking about.
I,
Okay.
I agree. I agree.
All
Well,
right.
I agree. Now, I would say I do feel like when she came back in, I think she should have handled it a little differently. Never let him see you sweat,
All
and
right.
he got up under your skin, and so I think she should have just kept it pushing. Try the
What do you
deuces on.
expect? That's the difference between a man and a female. We control our emotions better than you guys.
That is all. That is
No,
all right. But
yeah,
fake it. Y'all fake
that's
it
a
better.
fact. Isn't that a fact? That's the
You
difference
fake it
between
better. You
that's
think that you think it better, but yeah, no, y'all getting your feelings just as much. But we'll move on to the next one. We'll move on to the next one. So let's say, well, we were talking about Aisha. Let's go there with her anyway.
right.
So I'm feeling the chemistry between her and Dante. I like
Mhm.
it. I do feel that yes, maybe certain things were physically were
Right,
what
right.
made him enticed towards her, but I like it. I see them two kind of making it. I do. I think it's
It's
cute.
possible. It's possible. I think Aisha, she's serious. I think she seems serious about what she's about. But I also think, obviously there's a competition. Let's not get it twisted. There's a competition between herself and Zadia. She did that. Whatever she was doing is to get on the Zadia's skin too. Now, with that being said, yes, they look good together. The chemistry seemed right.
Yeah.
Physical attraction. I'm not faulting Dante. Physical attraction is important. I get it. But yeah, there could be a match made in heaven. I just hope he's not trying to make her number 4 baby mama. That's all.
It happens. Don't judge that man.
Well,
Okay.
I'm not judging. I'm just saying he's not trying to just hit it and run.
No, true. I think he
That's
needs
all
to
I'm
make sure
saying.
his intentions are
But,
clear. I agree.
but Dante is smooth. I love he moves very smooth.
He does. He knows all the right things to say, and
Man, he is smooth.
he's smooth.
When he came out in that robe,
Yeah,
beside that chick, feeling the booty. Who knows what happened that night? Okay, we gotta just keep it moving.
The cameras went on. We'll never know. We'll never know.
Right.
So, Naeem, bless his heart. I'm gonna just say that because Naeem, one thing he like really went after Zadia.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's who his I guess biggest connection was. But to me, I was kind of surprised because I know we keep talking about Zadia and Dante. I was surprised when she said, I was gonna choose you. Because I really was thinking that she liked Naeem like that. So that threw me off for a little bit. I was like, oh. But again, I think it was kind of few about her dislike of Aisha. So you really technically don't know if it really was like that. But with Naeem, I felt like, he really had no choice but to go home because he wasn't connected to nobody else. And the girl was really over there upset behind the situation with Dante. Like, Naeem, I mean, just go home, baby. You don't really have anybody else. And you didn't.
Yeah. Again, like I said, she probably liked Naeem, but I'm, because there's competition. Women like competition. Women love competition. It's just what it is. There's, whenever another female is in the picture, their antenna tend to go like it's like a radar. It's like up like this, But if a guy's like all, it's not like engaging. It's not enticing. It doesn't move them like that. But as long as there's another female in the picture, it's always.
I don't know why you keep saying that?
That's true. If a female knows that there's a potential female in the picture, it's a right. You know what I'm talking about.
Women, some can be a little competitive about things like that, but many of us, which is let's jump ship to another one that I like, that I understand. Sabrina. She would be a woman that would not be concerned about competitiveness. She's really been playing the entire game, like the thing between her and Walter.
I agree with you. That's a grown woman right there. She's grown.
She likes Walter. She speaks her mind. She lets people know. Like, I'm feeling her. Right. Even when they're talking and she's saying, hey, you really don't reach out like that. She's trying to make sure that she makes the best decision, but she's not concerned because notice how your girl Mumin, when they're at the piano, right, and just having their moment, she comes in trying to be played, whatever, but that's not the time for that. Sabrina paid her dust. She didn't even care because she was like, I'm feeling Sabrina.
She's a grown woman. That's the difference right there. She's a grown woman. That's the difference.
Yeah, she really didn't
she's a grown woman. Yeah, that's the difference. But you see, some of these guys, I don't understand, man. I didn't like what Walter did in the session. He went and talked about her being a dancer or something like that. I don't understand where that came from. I'm looking at these guys. I'm like, what are you guys operating on? Like, that was a personal conversation between, the two of you. Why did you? He didn't really have to disclose that.
It didn't add anything. It didn't add anything. Like, it was more so like, okay, she told you. She didn't share that with everybody else. She told it to you, and she was sharing, being open and vulnerable with you. So, and to me, you kind of, even when he talked about it in the confession, it was like, a kind of a red. Like, he gave it like it was more of a red flag, and I'm like, first of all, she didn't say. She said, "This is what I used to do." It gave me confidence. She gave you her reasoning for what she did, and I just didn't even understand why it was an issue. That's just me.
That was a weak move. It was a weak move.
Like,
talking about she was a dancer. What the hell? You want sympathy from other people? Well, what is the point of you? What do you mean, dude?
And on top of that, he was like, "I wanted it. I used to see her or something." So you was okay with going to to the place.
Right.
But
You know,
like, yeah,
that was a weak ass move actually by Walter.
yeah, I didn't like that at all.
You
I
know,
didn't like that at all.
but you notice some of these guys are weak. But I don't want to go back to my boy Dante, but
Yeah.
he went in a session talking about she poked me in the nose.
No,
That shit was hilarious to me. Like I don't know if no one else picked on that but me.
now
Am I tripping?
I'm gonna do what you say, play devil's advocate.
Okay.
Yeah. Flip it around. Flip it around.
Hmm.
Now, had he poked her in the nose, would you have had a problem with it? Had he stood
Um,
over her and got in her face and poked her in the nose, would you be like, "Come on, man"?
I would. I would have a problem with it. I'm not gonna lie. You know, but listen, let's be real. You know, Dante is not innocent. He, you know, like we already said, he, you know, he sort of misled her a little bit because he gave her the impression he was pursuing her up until the retreat, and
Yeah,
then he, you know,
he did.
he changes his whole approach towards her and all that stuff. So I understand why she was frustrated. He got to understand that's what women do. They overreact in situations. Most women do. I wouldn't say all women. Okay, most women do that. They overreact in certain
Ooh, go for
situations.
generalizations, I tell you.
Right. We're not gonna do no more generalization. I know most women do that. You know, they tend to overreact in the heat of the moment. You know, and that's like I said, that's the difference, key difference between most men and most women. You know, women tend to overreact. You know, let the emotions get the best of them. So I understand in that moment. You know,
Yeah.
but he going in the session like a little bitch. She poked me in the nose. What are you looking for, dude? Sympathy? Like, do you want sympathy from all these people? Like, you are so innocent. Nah, dude, you're not innocent. You know, like, he looked like a little bitch over there. She poked me in the nose. Like, okay, what do you want?
What he was doing,
Like a
okay, yeah.
little bitch.
I don't think she, no, she didn't hurt him, but she did show aggression, and I feel like he was saying, "Listen, we have to play. We do have to show have to pay attention to a red flag." Yeah, it was. It wasn't that big of a deal. She poked him in the nose. She got in his face. But I think, what if sometimes it's best to look down the line? Okay, you poked me in the nose today, but will you punch me tomorrow? I don't know. Like, I just feel like he might have been just, maybe he shouldn't have been so, she poked me in the nose, but maybe he should have said, "Listen, it was a little too aggressive for me. It's a
Right.
red flag. I'm going to probably back out."
It's the way he presented it. You
Yeah,
know, like
absolutely.
he's, come on. Let's keep it moving.
Okay, so Shiloh and Phil.
Hmm.
Okay, so Shiloh pretty much has let it be known she's really feeling Phil. She really
Mm-hmm.
has. Now, Phil has had him a few on the show so far. Okay, he has not really, even when they met his people, I think three of them in the past episodes. I think was one that he had the young lady. I think her name was Ty. I'm not sure. She was the thicker girl. That's all I can call her, thicker girl. Then you had Sydney, and then Shiloh. I think he met they three of them met his people. I believe separate situations. I might be wrong. Anyway, so Shiloh's basically she's honed in on him and she let him know. Listen, I want to move forward. I want to progress with you and see what we can do. And instead of saying, "Hey, I'm not really there yet," or "Let me just think about it," he comes in and says, "Okay, cool," and gives her a quick kiss. Classic avoidance. And since you want to talk about women, let's talk about men. This is something that men tend to do. Some, they may not be like you. Some men tend to do that instead of just saying, "Listen, I'm not there yet. I just want to see how this progresses out. And let me just I appreciate you telling me now, but let me think about it." He just gives her a quick little kiss. And, that's like a woman is going to be like, "Well, what does that kiss mean? Does that mean you feel the same way or whatever?" To me, it was kind of an answer without an answer.
Mm-hmm. But that's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it was. It was an answer without an answer because you got to understand. Women got to understand. Guys move at a different pace. You
I
know,
do.
that's just how it goes. We move at a different pace. In most cases, not in every cases, but in most cases, we move at a different pace. Even when it comes to making a decision to get married, it's the same. It's the same thing. We move at a different pace. That's just how it goes. So he was trying to figure out what's the best move for him. He was not 100% there yet. and she is like, we've been talking, we're feeling each other, da 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 da. So that you should get like that's not how it works, baby.
Yeah.
Does it? It doesn't work. So I don't really blame him for that. On the one hand, had he just been like brutally honest with her right there, what do you think was gonna happen? Everybody's gonna look at him like he's a jerk, no?
Well, no, because no,
they don't want to look at him like he's a jerk.
No, it wouldn't have. It's about how you deliver it. Now, because if you're still interested in getting to know her, and you're just saying, "Listen, I'm not really ready to make a decision yet." That's one thing. Had he just been like, "No," then what you been talking to me for this whole time? So I don't think he would have done that. But give her where you are right there in the moment. Don't just give me a little peck on the. No, that was weak. Don't do that. Just say how you feel. It was weak. It was weak because
that was sort of like an assurance without an assurance. He's telling her, "Listen, I'm feeling you." What?
It was misleading. It was misleading.
How was that misleading though?
It was misleading because you wanted her to shut up, basically. You wanted her to shut up and stop talking about it.
Well, that's a very civilized way of telling a chick to shut up and let me process what I'm trying to process, lady.
Why not just say that? Why not just say,
do you want him to say shut up?
No, I want him to say, listen, I appreciate your honesty, but right now, I'm not sure. I'm not there yet. But you are one of the main people that I'm very interested in. I just need a little bit more time. Say that.
He already said that. That was very obvious through his action. He's been pursuing her. Action speaks louder than words.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
But she needed confirmation, and he should have just said, to me, it was kind of like it left her in the gray. And one thing about women, we hate the gray.
Okay, noted. Check.
Stay out of the gray.
Stay out of the gray.
Stay out of the gray. So yeah, that was cool.
I'm learning. Okay, we gotta. What else we got?
Is I think he was feeling Sydney. He wanted. I mean, there's Sydney also. So because he knew in the back of his mind he might have been kind of interested in there, he's not ready to put all his eggs in one basket, and he has that right. But you could also just say it too.
Yeah. I think that was the right move. That's what I think.
You won't.
Okay, we're gonna agree to disagree on that.
On that one, I guess the last would be Frank and Sydney.
Yeah,
because Sydney, they got a little triangle too. You got Frank, Sydney, and Mumin, and so I think that I like Sydney. Mm-hmm. I just feel like she's not really. I think she likes Frank, and I think Frank was like her strongest connection. But I think she kind of, because you also saw that her and Phil went out, and so it was just a different type of connection that they have, and I feel like she's actually gonna be more Phil's type. That's what I think.
Who, Mumin or Sydney?
Mm-hmm. Sydney.
Okay. Yeah. Sydney. I don't really trust Sydney. I just think she got some ulterior motive. She's just not trustworthy. She's one of those chicks who just float around like a butterfly and sting like a bee. That's what she does. Okay. What you said?
How did you come up with that?
Oh yeah, she floats like a butterfly and sting like a bee. That's what she does. Okay. She's not trustworthy. She moves very slick. Okay. She's a slick chick. Look at the way she interact with was it the dude's Frank?
Yeah, Frank. Mm-hmm.
In the previous session, when Tommy asked her about her connection, oh, he's my all, he's my this, he's my that, and then next thing you know, she's all over giving kisses to Phil.
Okay, let's discuss.
You were telling everyone Frank is your guy, you love him, you this, you that, and then the next moment you were kissing.
Now, okay, but let me come for Sydney.
That's what I'm talking about. Look like a butterfly and sting like a bee, right there.
Let me have Sydney back for a second because, in the moment she was saying, he's my strongest connection. This is what I want. But then Phil entered in and she's like, okay, maybe there else is something else because that is how the game is played. Ready to love. So she's just trying to make sure she's exploring all her options. I think you're giving Sydney a hard time. I like
You see the
Sydney.
double standard right here. You see the big double standard.
Wow,
We were just talking about the other couple just now that when
because
she asked him and he didn't give her a straight answer. You didn't say, oh, he's trying to explore his options, but now as she's trying to explore her options. Don't you think that's what he was trying to do too? By giving her that answer?
all I said,
Ah,
said it to Shiloh. Just say I'm exploring my options.
double standard.
Not
Jesus
at all.
Christ. Oh,
Not at all.
oh wow.
Not at all. No, I like Sydney though. I do. I think that I thought the moment her and Phil had, it was interesting to see them. I'm interested to see how that plays out. But yeah, I actually like Frank and Mumin better. I think they're a better match.
Yeah, I
But
agree.
I'm feeling them. So
I agree with that. Frank and me, they're a better match.
yeah.
Frank seems like a stand-up dude in a way and he seems very honest. He's been, forthright, and he would tell you, "I'm feeling this. I'm
Yeah.
feeling you, but I'm also feeling this person." He'll let you know, and
I love
and I appreciate that about him. In
Yeah.
as much as his answers seem a little cheesy at times, but I'll give him a pass on that. Yeah, but Sydney, I'll tell you the real. I don't trust her. She's not trustworthy to me.
You
That's
doing
what
what
I'm
you
saying.
said wrong. You doing
How do you go and say this dude is he's my strong connection, he's my guy, I'm feeling him, I'm this, and then next thing you know, the first date with Phil, you kissing Phil. How do you explain it?
It's a dating situation. Like in one moment you are feeling you're feeling Frank. Yes, it's my strongest one, and then feel interested. That's what she's supposed to do. She's supposed to figure it out. Should she have said he's my, my everything? No, but I feel
Exactly. That's the point
no,
right there. That's the point. That's the point right there.
what she said. She was like he's her strongest connection, and he is. But I feel like Phil. He he threw his head in the ring, and I think he's okay. I don't see anything wrong with Sydney doing that, and I think you're giving my girl a hard time.
Yeah, she deserved that. All right, we're gonna fast forward to the next episode, no?
Yeah,
that's what we got. Okay, what we got?
All right. So in this episode, episode 11, you have the men they're going to allow the ladies to meet. No, flip it. Sorry.
What's happening?
The
ladies, yeah, they're inviting the guys to see their family, no?
Sorry, yeah, my bad. I had a brain freeze. So yeah, in this one, you're gonna meet the families of the ladies, and starting out with Frank. Let's start there. Frank met with Mumin's family, which I thought was interesting. I'm feeling Frank. I like his honesty. I like he does not that's what I'm talking about. Being able to say how you feel and what's really so the ladies know where they stand. I'm here for it. So when he meets with Mumin's family, I didn't know. Maybe I missed it. I didn't realize that Frank was also African, and so I thought that was interesting. They both had that in common. And her family, I was feeling the sister, that's how I would be with my sister too, as well. You the best one here anyway. Why isn't she? But I appreciated Frank keeping it 100 with them, letting them know, hey, yes, I definitely have a connection with your daughter, but there is another young lady that I'm also possibly, I'm also connected to as well. So I was feeling that. What did you think?
Yeah, I think I like his honesty. It's just the way he phrased it. I kind of threw the dad off a little bit, the way he phrased it. There's another woman. He could have phrased it in a little more subtle way. That's just not gonna be so like in your face like that. That's the only thing I'll say. But I still appreciate his honesty. But what's funny about that situation is, these people are Africans. The parents are Africans. They are used to polygamy. Man, they're all tripping when it comes to their daughter. You see what I'm saying? They probably got like 4 different wives in that country right there. And you over here now, because it's your daughter, you're like, oh, there was another woman in the mix.
I didn't think about that. That's a good perspective.
That's funny as hell. I was looking at that. I'm like, oh, shit. Look at these Africans. Bunch of hypocrites right here. You probably got like 3-4 wives in the village.
I can't. I can't. Yeah, I thought they were cool though. I thought it was interesting to see
Yeah, they
how
were
they
cool.
connect. So
They were
I'm
cool.
for him and
The
Lily.
dad, I don't think the dad understood the concept of the show. I don't think he
Yeah,
did. The uncle kind of he got it real fast.
yeah,
He got it. Yeah.
yeah. So it was cool. I really I hope they make it. That's just my kind of sport. I like them too. As far as Frank meeting Sydney's sister, um, I don't think the sister was off in her assumption. Um, because to me, sometimes they do when I see Sydney and Frank interact, it doesn't seem as natural. You know, it seems
Mhm.
I wouldn't say forced,
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
it's
I get
definitely
what you're saying. It's just like it's very plastic.
yeah, it's
it's
real.
not organic. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's
not
like
organic. Yeah, it's very plastic. I think part of the reason is because they knew each other prior to the show. So
yeah,
that is part of the reason. They knew each other. It's almost like, all right, let's just hook up because we knew each other. So it didn't feel right. It doesn't look right when they
it
connect.
doesn't look natural.
Not at all. Yeah. So that's what it is right there. So I wouldn't be mad if they don't, and I don't think they're gonna end up together by the look of things. I think she's gonna end up with Phil.
I do too.
Yeah.
I actually liked her interaction that she had with Phil and her parents.
Hmm.
I love that he brought in flowers and just laying it on a little thick. I thought it was cute. Bring the
Yeah,
dad, I think he brought him bourbon or something like that. I just thought it was nice. I love his interaction. I think that, but I feel like that's the thing with Phil. I think Phil, like on the last episode we talked about, I think Phil should have kept it. I'm looking at Sydney, like he clearly likes her.
well, I respect Phil for not saying that because that would have been too fast. It's not like him and Sydney had like multiple dates before that. It would have just came
Yeah.
out of nowhere, and that would have gotten her pissed even more. She would have been thinking, "Oh, wait a minute, were you talking to this chick behind my back all this time?" When you see what I'm saying? And that's why Zadia was mad because the connection between Dante and Aisha, it was not like it
But
was not like we didn't see that on screen. We didn't
you
see
didn't
that.
see it on screen, but the thing of it is that I think sometimes people don't consider, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Let it be known we're on a dating show. I'm supposed to have other options. We might be good this week, but next week I might get a phone call and it could be, fireworks. And
I
and
agree.
my mind is blown over here on this person. It's just when we're not together yet. So right now
I agree with you. Listen, I agree with you, but at the same time, you do that, that's gonna just open a whole can of worm, and then you're gonna have a long ass conversation that is just not necessary. Okay,
no,
you gotta understand. You talk about the gray area. We guys, we tend to avoid unnecessary conversation. That's what we try to avoid.
I get
So
you that.
that's
I get
yeah,
you
you
that.
see exactly because
But
women. Mhm.
sometimes if you would just go ahead and it may not even be a full conversation, just a sentence. Just say something. You just don't want her to be blindsided. That is what you don't want. Don't let her be blindsided. I'll put her in the know just a little bit. Just a little bit. That's all I'm saying. But I do. I like Phil and Sydney. I think I think it's gonna be a Phil and Sydney situation. That's what I think.
Yeah, definitely. I mean,
Yeah.
from the moment she kissed him, the previous time, I just knew that because I didn't see any kissing going on between
Nope.
Sydney
That's
and Frank.
true. And they kept saying they was just so connected and this is the strong. And I'm like, well,
Yeah.
where is like that kind of, where
Mm.
we all over each other? I don't see it. And I'm not saying you gotta do that, but can we see like y'all kind of come off like
It's a
homies.
friend zone. It was more like a
Yeah.
friend zone
Y'all homies.
connection. Yeah,
It's more like real
friendly. Well, the friendly connection and chemistry is there
yeah.
on the friendly side, but on the sexual and romantic,
I don't
you
see
know,
it.
I don't
Uh,
see her panties getting wet for
I
Frank
can't.
easy.
I
You
cannot.
know.
What I will say, what I will say is though, on the reason why you were like, well, how could she do that? She's on a date with Phil. I think she knew that okay, this would be a nice connection, and it took off. So I'm still Team Sydney, even though you just pretty much ain't feeling her. I'm Team
Yeah,
Sydney.
she's a sly fox. That's what it is. She's sly.
I
Yeah,
can't.
but me and Frank, they'll make a good team.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. I think they would look good together. I think they have like a lot of commonalities. I think that's a better fit. Let's be honest. Sabrina and Walter this episode. So
Mhm.
he met, I believe she said it was her cousin this week. They met online. I mean, I guess via Zoom.
Yeah, yeah, I saw that.
And I think that they did well. I do. I feel like, to me, they're again the strongest connection that each one of them has. However, I will say sometimes I feel like Sabrina second guesses him, and I don't necessarily think she's wrong for that, but I think
Mhm.
she might be overthinking it. So, and she said that, and I mean, in her defense, I mean, if you're a woman who's made some past mistakes, I understand she's just kind of want to make sure that she's making the right decision. But I think he's been pretty consistent in trying to show up. I mean, if she has some issues, I say, say speak up and say whatever your issue is with him. But I don't see. I think she should let it play out. To be honest,
As far as her saying what?
yeah. It said, say it again.
What did she say? That
Oh, she was just saying basically how, even though she got good feedback from her cousin, but she was basically saying, I don't always make the best decisions when it comes to men. And she wants to be, 100% that, this makes sense before she makes a bad decision. And I think she might be just overthinking just a little bit.
well, you know, two things can be true at the same time. She might be overthinking it, and also Walter might be disingenuous too. I don't really see Walter as completely in. I
Mm-mm.
don't really get that vibe from him. It's
So wait a
more
minute.
that.
Let's go back to the pool though. When
Mhm.
he does seem like he was more so interested in her than now. I do know when he was kind of engaging with Mumin, he did kind of let Mumin know, yeah, I'm feeling you too. But it did seem that Sabrina was his first choice.
From the beginning, he connected with Sabrina, and then he explored different options. You
Mhm.
actually remember when they went on that date. At that restaurant, she said you disappeared. Like, you disappeared.
Like
And
men can do. Like men
right,
can do.
she said you disappeared. We started off good, and then you left me hanging. She's right by
Yeah,
saying that. That right there tells me he was not completely sold on Sabrina. He was still exploring different
I
options.
agree. I
That
agree.
that that was one of the reasons why he started going out with Mumin. But then he
True.
realized Mumin is not fully matured, and she isn't. Emotionally, as far as I can see, she's not fully mature because there was no reason for her to be bitching about him sitting next to a chick playing the piano. That was just childish right there. And at the pool again, she did the petty stuff again right there. So that was the stuff that threw him off. I strongly
Let me
believe
come.
he would have
Let me
rolled with
come to
he would
Mumin.
have rolled with her if he didn't see those pettiness from her. I can tell you that.
Let me come to Mumin's defense for a second.
Hmm.
I think she did go about it the wrong way when it came to Walter. However,
Hmm.
I think what she wanted to know is why do you switch up when she comes around? I think that's out there. Now, I'm not saying that
You
she
wanted to
was
know what?
because she was saying, remember, she went into, I think someone's controlling you or not controlling you, but somebody's got you, like you can't be yourself when she comes around. I think Mumin was too concerned about him and Sabrina. Like, I think
Hmm.
she was just like, when Sabrina's around, you act different. And I think she didn't like how that made her feel. So she took about it. I think she handled it. I don't think she handled it in the most mature way, no. But
I
I
don't
think
think
it
she
was
has.
from her
I
place.
don't think she has any point whatsoever. That's just what it is. There's no reason for her to be worried. Number one, you're on a dating show. There's competition, right? Why you worry about another chick? It's not like Sabrina was all in her space, or giving her like the stinky look or whatever. Nah. What is your problem?
I
Focus
don't
on
think
the
she was
dude.
concerned with Sabrina. She was concerned with how Walter was acting. Well, I think her thing was, well, why do you act like you don't? Basically, kind of like when Sabrina's around, you act like you don't know me. That's basically what she was trying to say.
And let me ask you, is that what he did?
I don't think so. I think that when
Okay.
Sabrina was around, he was just in Sabrina's face. It just I think that's what it was, and she was trying to get her time in, and I think it was just the ones of her time. That is what I believe. I think
Yeah, I think that's a bunch of nonsense over nothing. That's what it is. It's just insecurity and lack of maturity. That's all. That's what it boils down to. Simple as that. As far as her reacting the way she did, I wouldn't be able to put up with stuff like that. I would react the same way as Walter. I'd be like, really? Are you tripping over me sitting next to someone playing the piano? I was just sitting next to you, and you sang right?
This is
You
true.
remember she did a
This is
song.
true.
So what is the
This
issue?
is true. I'm still defending Bilmeen. I just feel like she just wanted Walter to act like she existed around Sabrina. That's
That's
it.
some high school shit right there. That's
Hey,
high
I'm
school
just
shit.
saying.
That's some
You
high
want to
school
talk
move
about
right there.
grown out?
That's
I
what
think she just
that's what
didn't want.
girls did in high school. When you were teenagers and stuff, you want everyone in high school to know that, oh, we kicking it. You're my man. You got to show that, show everyone that, yeah, I'm the new B, or I'm the main chick. That's what it is. That's high school shit right there.
I
Who really
can't.
cares? Like,
I
why you
don't think
worry?
no, I don't think it was about I really think she just really wanted to know, hey, do we really have a connection? Because it does look like you seem to be more in Sabrina. That's what she handled it to me in a childish way. She just wanted to know that she had a position there. That's all. But we don't see eye to eye on this one. I see.
No, she's petty. She's immature. She's petty. She's got a little bit of insecurity over there. That's all I gotta say.
Okay.
you know.
Okay. So let's fast forward to Dante and Aisha. So Dante had a chance to meet her family as well.
Mhm.
And it looks like like I said, Team Dante and Aisha. I think they're winning personally at this point. I know you say it was the booty, but I really feel like they really connect, and he's winning the family over. Now, I do think that the conversation about his kids and having multiple women. I think hey, that happens in life. And I feel like if a man is taking care of his children, and I appreciate, I liked his answer.
Yeah,
Um, People have moved on. We're cordial. It is what it is. I'm about
yeah.
my
I mean, it is what it is. I'm not knocking him for having three
yeah,
babies. Not at all.
yeah.
I was just questioning his motive. That's all it is.
There's no-
Yeah. I mean, obviously, it's very obvious he was attracted to her physically.
Mhm.
That's just what it is. He was more he got captivated by the physical. Let's just put it that way. I'm a guy. That's very obvious. And she did her thing too to get him hooked, by that refrigerator, opening that refrigerator with that see-through whatever she had on, and you can see all the bootylicious, and that is like, wait a minute, I'm getting all this goodies over here very easy, and you over here trying to give me this headache. I'm gonna go with the one who's giving me easy time. Guys like easy time. We don't like to deal with the stress and the headache. Zadia may have been the right person for him, but when you come with that strong personality shit, that could be a turn off for a lot of people, a lot of guys. We don't want to deal with that. Yeah, so but I agree. So far, they seem to have the strongest connection. You
Yeah.
know, yeah, they do. Dante and
Um,
Aisha, yeah,
yeah, I'm
yeah.
feeling them. I think that, I think that they might be able to even get past just the physical. That's what I think. So we'll see. And then Phil and Shyla. Woo,
Save
okay.
the best for the last.
Yeah. We're gonna have to dive into this one. So, a couple of things went left. One, remember we said the last time how he left that little kiss, and she thought about it and said, didn't really respond to me, like I said. And that was not, as a woman, you left her in the gray. So, but technically, as women, sometimes I feel like I'll use myself as example. Sometimes that gray is the answer. When you don't
Mm,
get an answer, you got an answer, and it's up to us to take that answer and keep it pushing. But she needed him to physically, like literally, say it out your mouth. She pushed him, and they were drinking. They were at a bar, and apparently it spiraled out of control, and whoo, went left. So where I'm with it,
hmm
I understood what she was trying to say, why she felt the way she felt based on what things that have happened in the past.
mm,
I try to put myself in her shoes on how I would have felt,
hmm
and I don't agree with now that he did straight up ask her, "Do you think I was trying to harm you?" When she said yes, I was like, "Oh wow, okay," because to me, I don't understand how you came to that. Like he really was just basically trying to make sure that you're good. I'm not saying he was right at all, but I'm saying at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning in DC, we outside arguing about whatever. I would want my person to care about me, about, listen, this ain't what we about to do out here in the middle. It's the wee hours in the morning. I want to make sure that you're safe. Do I feel like maybe it was a different judgment call? But then what did you expect him to do? That's my thing. I didn't understand. Like she said, you could have just walked after me. But how do I know that, we both now putting ourselves in a situation? I don't know. To me, this one was really, really sticky. I'm going to say it was very, very sticky. And a lot of men that I know probably would have been trying to make sure she was protected as well. So I don't really know how you can handle, but I guess a couple of days after the event happening, you still felt like he was trying to emotionally hurt you. That one kept, I got a pause on. It just didn't sit well with me, just being honest. And I felt Phil when he was like, yo, my character is being attacked right now. My thoughts on that are still out on where I stand with it, and I understand when she was saying you're triggering me because things have happened in my past, but how am I supposed to move forward? I don't quite. Yeah, what's your thought on that one?
Well, first off, she's over here trying to get this guy to make up his mind. She's a big hypocrite, as far as I can see, right? Because in the beginning, there was a guy by the pool. You remember that guy?
Tyrone.
Tyrone, who actually told her exactly what she wanted to hear, how he feels. What was her reaction? What did she do to that dude? You remember?
She sent him home. She sent him home.
So
she said it was too soon, and she said that she needed to play it out and weigh her options. She said the same exact thing.
That's a double standard again. You see, that's a double standard. This is the stuff that Kevin Samuel is talking about, and a lot of women don't want to hear it. It's clear the double standard.
We can go past that, sir. We're not doing this tonight. Sir.
Well, listen.
We doing real good.
That's your trigger right there, huh? Kevin Samuels?
We're not doing this airtime, not tonight. Nope. Go ahead.
Kevin Samuels is your trigger?
That's not doing it tonight.
Let me tell you this. I'm gonna tell you this straight up. I'm not a huge fan of Kevin Samuels. I value his message. I'll tell you this, and I think there's a place for his message, right? But his approach, his delivery, I'm not a fan of. I'll tell you that, and I don't necessarily agree with 100% of the things he says, but at least 80% of the things he says are true and relevant to our society. That's just being honest. But do I like his approach, the way he talks to female, his delivery? No, I don't buy that. You can tell someone the truth without, demeaning them, without being condescending and all that foolishness that he does. His tone, I don't buy that. That's why I don't even watch him. But his message is relevant. Let's be honest. When he talks about the double standard, this is a clear example right there. Which is which, Shiloh? On one hand, you over here pushing Phil to make a decision, but you had a guy who made a decision. What was your response? The exact opposite that you're giving us right now about Phil.
Okay, so let's discuss the issue with Tyrone. Now, with some people, I think it's cool. Tyrone saw what he wanted and he went after it. I think there's nothing wrong with that. However, you have some people who don't want that. They want to be able to take time, and she had a few more dates than she had one date with Tyrone and maybe a couple conversations, and he was already in. Hey, I ain't knocking Tyrone for that. However, if we're not on the same page, sir, it's a little too early for me to go ahead and pull a Camille and Cornelius. Okay? That's what Tyrone wanted. He was like, hey, I'm locking in. This is you and me. And she was, I'm not there yet.
Okay. I'll give you that thing about not being there, right? Mm-hmm. You got to remember, they've been having conversation off screen.
Right.
Okay? And two, her approach, the way she handled that situation, she went into the session, you know, and made it look like he did the worst thing ever.
She
And that
did.
was just really foul, you
She
know.
did. She did. She
Yeah,
did.
it was just really nasty behavior right there. So, Shiloh, you lost my respect the moment you did that shit to Tyron. So, and now you're over here crying, for this guy to give you an answer. Get the hell out of here, Shiloh. Okay?
Shiloh, I think
Get it
Shiloh.
together. Get it together. You got to give him time too. Just like
I agree.
You wanted Tyron to give you time.
I agree.
Phil needs time too. That's a double standard, and it doesn't
I
work.
agree. I think it was a double standard. I think you were putting more fire on Phil. One, it was the wrong setting. Y'all both had been drinking. Y'all were at the bar. It was just a lot going on, and that was just not the time or the place.
It was not
So
time for that. No, it was
yeah,
just
so it wasn't. And I feel like Phil skating around it, didn't want to have a conversation yet again, which I can't knock him for that. I'm not gonna knock him for
right.
that because he's saying, listen, I'm gonna give you the answer, but right now, just not right now.
Just go out there, enjoy the moment,
Keep
build
going,
up, build up the chemistry and the connection. Use that
yeah,
time to build up the connection. Let him see a side of you that he hasn't been privy to.
yeah,
And then he might be like, oh, okay, I didn't know the side of her. She seemed interested. Oh, okay,
yeah,
maybe
yeah,
that kind of stuff. Let it
absolutely.
flow. But she wanna. It's almost
She
like
she forced it. She forced his hand, and then I feel like she was more so upset, honestly, about the answer. That's what I was trying to figure out. Like, to me, she was more upset that he did not give her the answer she wanted, and I think
That's what it was.
she harped on it.
All this stuff about he grabbed me, he this, he that. She was not mad about that. No,
Yeah,
it was
I
the
think you
answer
were
that
more
she didn't.
upset about
She
the
did not.
answer.
She was upset about the response. His
Yeah,
response. That's
yeah,
all it was. It had nothing to do with grabbing. Because I can assure you, had he grabbed her in a way that was aggressive,
yeah,
it would have been a bigger fuss than it was.
yeah,
I'm telling you, he literally just did what most guys would do. Hold you and say, "I'm not gonna let you go through this alley by yourself. I'm gonna
yeah.
take you this way."
Right, right.
That's all he did. That's what it was. It's not,
Yeah.
and like you said, you're trying to character assassination right there, trying to make him look bad
That
on
was the
TV.
one that kind of I couldn't rock with her because I see again. I want to make sure that I'm making sure I'm being sensitive to the women who have been hurt in some form of matter. I get that.
Mhm.
So that space you need your boundaries. I get all of that. But like you said, you brought us into this meeting and we're like, I mean, what's going on? He laid his hands on you? Like, that's almost how you made it come off until you got to speaking and you tell, okay, it wasn't like that. He
Right,
literally was trying to protect you. That's
right.
what but I think you was more pissed that he wasn't saying I want to be with you. Like once when he said basically at this point we are not compatible, I was in complete agreement. Yeah.
Yeah,
You
she
know, yeah.
exaggerated. She exaggerated the whole thing. She came across as one of those chick who would play the victim card real fast and get
So,
you into some situation that
yeah.
some predicament that you didn't foresee.
Yeah.
And that's scary. You know,
I think
you know,
it's almost like you walking in a landmine.
yeah, yeah. So you got to
Yeah.
be working on the eggshell with a chick like Shiloh.
I agree.
I
I
understand abuse and
mhm,
past trauma is real. No one is diminishing that. Let's be
absolutely.
real over here. That's real.
Absolutely.
And everyone deal with that stuff differently. But at the
Yeah.
same time, if you know you haven't fully recovered from your past trauma, what are you doing
That's
on the show?
Yeah. That's
You know what
true.
I'm saying?
You know that you can be triggered in that. I mean,
Right,
hey, and triggers they can happen again. But I was just more so like, well, okay, but because I would have looked at it from the what has Phil shown you up to this point? Because you were ready to move forward. And
right,
from that moment on, because if you listen to as I was listening to the wording, she was using terms like I'm heartbroken.
right.
And
Heartbroken
I'm
over what?
heartbroken over what though? Like are we upset about him physically picking you up and moving you? Are we upset that he didn't? What are
Her
you?
response was emotionally something was emotional. Yeah, when
Yeah,
she
it was
said
like
that, I'm like,
emotional.
okay,
He said, "Did you try to hurt?" And she said, "I think you tried to hurt me emotionally." And
right,
I was lost for a second.
yeah.
I really was. I wasn't following. So
Yeah, that's scary. So he was
yeah,
like, "Oh, I don't know if I can deal with all of this stuff here. It's just too much going on." You
yeah,
know. But Shiloh is supposed to be some relationship. What something something? What is
yeah.
it?
Like I told you, I think something like a It's a coach. It's some type of
Yeah,
coach.
some kind of coach. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking like, oh man,
Yeah, I was kind of taken aback by that event. I was expecting something totally different than what it was. And again, I'm not trying to downplay it at all.
mhm.
Um, I was just kind of like, this is interesting. I was more so confused about what exactly she was upset about.
Mm,
After the days had passed, after she came back and talked to Tommy, like, what are you? Because you're using terms like heartbroken,
right.
and that's where you kind of like, well, what are we concerned? What are we upset about? That's where I was just kind of confused. So
Mm-mm. Yeah, those are strong words. Yeah, so
well,
I
yeah,
know. Yeah, it's better that she took her exit.
yeah.
Go take your exit. Go call Tyron. Like what's her name? Erica Badu said, "Call Tyron."
Tyrone was
You
Tyrone was ready to, he was like,
gotta
this
go
man,
call
you better
Tyron.
do this. And she was like,
Tyron, I apologize, Tyron. Take me back. You
so
never
yeah,
knew it might work.
yeah. So
you
now
know.
we got one episode left, and so we'll see who is ready to love.
What do you think is gonna? Let's make prediction before we wrap this up.
All right, so my vote again is I would say I pretty much have everybody locked in. So I got Aisha and Dante,
Hmm.
um, Sabrina and Walter. I think they're gonna both be ready to love,
Okay.
and Sydney and Phil. And I'm telling you
Mhm.
why. I think Sydney and Phil are gonna make it because I think she liked the way he made her feel. I don't,
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying? I think it's more of a feeling, and I'm just wondering if she's gonna go off of it now. If it's gonna last, I don't know. I don't know. I think that it's more so like y'all have a certain type of connection that you like, and you like that the family, everybody's responding to him really well.
Right.
But to me, it's not enough time to say that you're ready to love. Just being honest. Um, I think that they might show up for one another, but I'm not sold. I'm not sold on them.
On
Just
Sydney and Phil.
not sold.
You're not sold on Sydney and Phil?
I think they're gonna. It's still too soon to say it's ready to love. I think he's gonna go after and pursue it, but do I feel it possibly lasting like that? I don't know. And of course, like I said, I like Mumin and Frank. I like them together. Yeah, but Sydney and Phil, I think it's a good look. Like I said, I liked how he came in with the family. I loved all of that. But to me, it's really soon for y'all to be like, yeah, I'm ready to love. Let's do this. What y'all had one day? What? Oh, okay. What you think?
um. Well, Sydney and Phil is not one. I don't think it's one date. They made a connection before a little bit. They did. Um. That's when I was complaining about her kissing him on that first date or something like that. I'm sure they probably spoke off screen too. Because these people,
Yeah.
they have each other's phone numbers, so they communicate. Um, so yeah, but I think Phil kind of reminds me of me a little bit in a way. Like the process stuff. You know, and stuff like that in a way. In that regard, I kind of see that, and he was very his temperament. I kind of give him a 10 on a scale of 1 to 10. The way he was composed and
I
very
agree.
measured in that situation. Some guys would have been going up. What
Yeah.
like he was very cool.
He was very
Yeah,
level
he
headed.
handled that very professionally, and I kind of really applaud him for that. He kept his cool during the whole time. So and that kind of gave me a different perspective about him because initially I was thinking he was just a player because he was dating three. Remember, he had three chicks
He
that.
had his options. Nothing wrong
Yeah,
with
right. Yeah. So, but he was playing. He was playing the game right. You got to
it.
explore your
He
options.
was. He was.
Yeah. And so he just want to make the right decision. That's what it is. Simple. That's what I see with Phil.
Yeah.
Do I think, like you said, that connection is gonna last? I'm not sure. It could just be Sydney is just sexually attracted to Phil, and Phil is like, you know what? I'll take it.
You just give Sydney a hard time.
Sydney is a sleaze bag.
She is not.
She
She
is.
is not.
It's written all over her face. She's a sleaze bag.
She
Yeah.
is not.
And her mom over there pressuring Phil like, hope you're not a player. Da, da, da. Your daughter is the player, mommy.
Again, she just has options. Oh,
Mommy, your daughter is the player. Okay.
She just wants to make sure she's making the right connection. That's all.
Oh yeah. All
That's
right.
all.
Yeah. So this was a great session. Yeah, I think Sabrina and Walter might work, but I don't think Walter is all in. Walter
Mm.
is just he probably just settled.
Mm.
Well, he probably he's coming across as someone who who didn't really find what he was looking for. I don't think he really found what he was. I don't think he did. So he decided to just settle. But they look good together. I like the two together. But I just think, just from a guy's perspective, I think he pretty much just settled. I may be
You
wrong.
don't think you don't think she was really what he wanted? Because I noticed that her cousin mentioned something about, or her friend, I think it was her cousin, mentioned that he's used to dating younger women. Do you think that he wanted somebody younger?
Yeah, that explains why he was going after Mumi.
Yeah.
See that?
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah. Did he
He
want
just-
children? Do you remember if he said anything about kids?
No.
No. Okay. Because I don't think that was on the cards for Sabrina.
Mm-mm.
Either
So
way,
I
so
realized there's four couples like going to the final. That's normally it should be three, but I guess what's his name? Uncle what's his name?
nephew Tommy.
Nephew Tommy's gonna let it roll.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it got interesting. It got interesting. It just for me, it's just the little bitchy stuff that's happening. To poke me on the nose.
Whatever. Had it been reversed, it would have been in the city. So
But
I
I said
think
the same thing though. The reverse happened with Shiloh and what's the name?
and
And
Phil,
that's my position too. I just feel like she overblew that stuff. It's not like yeah. I
yeah.
don't think it's because of male or female. It's just if it's not doesn't make sense, it doesn't make sense.
I guess
Gotta be
it's more so like if you yeah, I guess I see your point, but sometimes I feel like they might be, and I guess in so many ways, every situation is on a case by case. And so,
Mhm.
with the situation with the finger pointing towards the nose, you're looking at it as, okay, is this a sign of things to come? And then,
All
and
right.
let's look at it back to Shiloh. Is she looking at it as, well, she was able to say that no, I wasn't physically afraid of him. So, case by case, I think she knew Phil's character, and I think she came at it with the left hand when she kept pushing it, talking about I was emotionally hurt, and stop it, Shiloh. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I can't.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That was just a cop out. She'll be all right.
it was hurt. She was hurt.
Yeah.
You know.
So the next episode is episode 12.
And yeah,
Okay.
episode 12 is the last one, so we're gonna see who makes it, versus who doesn't. So I'm interested to see how it plays out.
Cool. I'm looking forward to that too.
This
Let's
was
get
good
it.
talking with you.
What is it?
This was
Yeah,
good.
it
Shopping
was.
with you.
It was good. Good chopping it up, right? Chop it up.
Okay.
Chop it up. It was good. It was good. Time went by so fast too, though.
It did. We both
It
have our strong opinions on certain ones. So
Right.
it was good.
So
It
we
was
definitely link up again for the next episode.
absolutely.
All right. Well, have a good night.
You do the same. Good night.
All right. Don't forget, leave your comment and tell us what you think. We appreciate every comment.
Yeah. Thank
All right.
you.